Hey, what's going on, people? I'm back here again to talk about Tesla Autopilot program. So I'm back again after 2 videos and about 100 likes in my white shirt. This is not the same white shirt, people. This is a different one. I have about 200 of it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about 2 things. Why Tesla got rid of NVIDIA chips in its computer hardware to customize its own chips. There's many reasons why you want to do that, and Tesla has taken that path to make its autopilot chips more efficient. We'll be talking about that, and also we'll be talking about how I programmed my own little computer chip, and I'll use that to demonstrate how customizing your own chips is more efficient than using a chip that is used for genetic purposes. So the first thing I'll be talking about is Tesla customizing its own chip instead of using an NVIDIA chip. So in the previous hardware, which is they labeled it as the hardware 2.5, they used a NVIDIA chip for all the processing. So in the new chip, the hardware 3.0, which I've talked about in my previous 2 videos, still there with 100 likes, just letting you know, it uses a totally different approach. Why would you want to customize your own chip? So I'll be talking about 2 things. When you're designing a product, 2 things has to come to mind, or maybe more. I'm just thinking about 2 right now. Well done, well developed product, and what's the other one? Profitable, if you're in some sort of business. So what Tesla did is optimize that chip in a way that it's suitable for driving. So when you design any sort of technology chip for any product, 2 things has to come to mind: software and hardware. And this is where Tesla has killed it with this new chip. So they customized the chip to fit their software development for self-driving technology. And this is a very, very efficient way of developing a product. So once you get the software team and the hardware team to come together and have one mission, we'll create a chip, you'll write a software that will make the car drive. And that will do 2 things. It will reduce power, which it will makes it more efficient. And another thing is profit, which means you will design in a way that it's cheaper, flexible, and reliable. That way, you have new Tesla cars coming out now with a hardware that is cheaper in an order of magnitude that will allow Tesla to save tons of money, and that will make the car more affordable, and that means profit at the end of the day. So another thing in regards to this, it's power efficient. So when Tesla uses a NVIDIA chip, they're using a chip that is utilized for tons of other applications, which means they have to power things that is really not necessary, as I'll show you in my own programmable hardware that I created to demonstrate in this video. So when you use a chip that is used for so many things, you power up things that is not necessary for your application. That means more power being wasted, not as efficient chip. But when you customize your own, well, few things will happen. You'll create a software and hardware that matches your application, and which results in a more efficient chip. And for this application, it's for autopilots, for driving. The chip is being designed for to control every operation in a Tesla car. So that one direct impact that it will have, it will not only save power, but will increase your range. So the car can go further now, which means good for your. Right now, I'm going to talk about a chip that I programmed to, potentially drive a car. If you install it in a car and connect about, a couple of cameras to it, it will be able to drive a car. It has that capability. So let's walk into my little lab and let's talk about the board that I'm talking about. Guys, now that I'm in my lab, let me show you what I'm introducing you to. This is Barry. Barry Drives. Barry Drives is capable of driving cars to a certain extent. So I explain what Barry does. So if I can get this off. So Barry has a camera module and a board where it has a processing chip. So this processing chip is not as capable, not as strong, not as capable, and not as efficient as a Tesla Hardware 3 processing board. Main reasons: well, it's flexible. I don't have money to hire people to customize my own chip, so I gotta buy what's out there, which means I'm back into the world of genetic stuff. So this is created for 1,000 applications. That means if I program this for self-driving cars to drive my car or drive another car, it's going to be power inefficient. So that's why putting this in a car is not a good idea. We're powering up things that are section of the boards that is not necessary. And by the way, for you techs out there, this is an FPGA. We're not going to get into details about what exactly chip is. I'm staying away from that stuff in this video. I don't know if how much can I show this demonstration, but again, if you have this looking at the external world and I have this processor processing incoming video stream, right there you have a computer vision system. All you gotta do is teach how to drive using data, which I talked about in my previous video, where I talked how Tesla has a fleet of Tesla cars providing footage of you driving to a point that it feeds into its processor, a neural processor network, to teach its vehicles how to drive. So if let's say, assume that I have all that data, a good amount of data to feed into this processor, I can potentially teach my vehicle how to drive. This is one approach that you can use to teach a car how to drive. This is what Tesla is doing. This is what most companies now is doing. Power. Oh, Barry, you can. Oh, crap. My point is power efficient and profitable. So you want it powerful, powerful. I don't remember what's the third one, but you want everything. And guess what? When you design a chip, you don't get everything. You always sacrifice for something. And I don't know what Tesla is sacrificing here. I don't know. I mean, I can talk about it, but I don't really know. So all I can say is that they moved to a different hardware. They upgraded the performance. When I say performance, I mean now you can process more videos. You have more footage coming in from many different cameras. You can read stuff from many sensors. You can do it faster, more reliable, which improves the autopilot technology in their cars. Got our lab, and let's get back into our little office, and we'll finish this video like we never start. Boom! I hope I did a very good explanation. That was probably not so good. So guys, now we're back into our little office. In a quick summary, I talked about how Tesla got rid of the previous chip that was on hardware 2.5 and moved to its own custom chip on hardware 3.0. And I showed you my own little. This is supposed to be in the lab. It's supposed to be in the lab. It's supposed to be in the lab. Quickly demonstrated my own little processor, and I explained that it's capable of doing the same thing, just that it will consume a lot of juice for the same type of application. Not recommended, but this is all I want to talk about in this video. In the next one, we'll probably see, I don't know what I'll get into next, but I'll get into some popular tech